Hi, folks. It's your good friend, Mr. Brightside. I'm coming out of my cage, but don't get too excited about it. I'm not really doing anything with it. But anyway, enough of that foolishness tied to my hat. Mind you, we're talking about a 2024 phenomenon. Let's talk about now the St. Louis Battlehawks. I think they needed something to spice things up, and I think they've made a move in that direction, selecting rock and roll Ricky Proehl to be their head coach. Let's face it, a coach is a coach, but in the UFL, I think they should have stuck with USFL. But anyway, that's just me. Ricky Proehl is a guy that appeals to, especially that St. Louis football fan. Let's talk about on the older side of things. I still think you have the same DNA in the St. Louis football fan. Yeah, we love the flashy skill players like Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, you name it. And, Steven Jackson was kind of a little bit of that and a little bit of the old school bruising fullback, a little bit of Chuck Foreman. Anyway, a certain kind of fan loves the Jim Otis types, the Jackie Smith types. Ricky Proehl fits that model, and I'll never forget. I have a lot of regrets of the way I spent money, and of course, to me, Rams is a four-letter word. But that was about the most special moment. The McGuire home run chase was special. There's no doubt about it. But, you had to wait for someone to actually pitch to him. And, eventually the record fell. It didn't stand. That to me is a bigger issue than anything else. Jack Buck thought it would stay for decades, and it lasted 3 years. That to me is the biggest bummer about the home run chase. Obviously, the Stanley Cup was special. The Brett Hull era was special, but gosh, I don't know if anything gave me the chills more. And again, being there made a difference. But I think I was in the worst possible seat, and yet it was still magical when Ricky Proehl was in that corner of the north end zone up there in the northwest corner. I look at it, and it's hard to believe that happens, so long ago now. But Ricky Proehl, the blue-collar player on the ever-flashy greatest show on turf, made that catch, and man, I remember when he made that catch, I grabbed this guy next to me like he was a kicker, and I was like Dan Hampton on the Bears. It was ridiculous, the euphoria in that building. And Ricky Proehl brings a lot of nostalgia to the table. So, and I think he kind of has those quotes and that kind of attitude, that kind of tough guy kind of attitude that I think will play well. And I think, I'm sure, I don't know everything that goes on with UFL coaching, but I figured the PR end of things got a little stale. So it was a good call to switch coaches. And Ricky Proehl, you try to find a way to connect to that nostalgia, and he certainly has a way. And you know what? The NFL doesn't own the names. I wish they would put the names back up in the Ring of Honor. Put them all up. The Rams, they don't own those names. The NFL doesn't own the names. The team doesn't own the names. Put that Ring of Honor back up. Let's see Deerdorf's name back up there. See the names of the guys who went into the Hall of Fame that we never got to see honored, put in the ring. Put a Kurt Warner in there. Put those names back. I think that would add a little something. And you know what? I realize they're trying to get along with the NFL, so they probably wouldn't do this. But I would love to just see, hockey teams. You go to some minor league hockey rink, and you see the past championships in different leagues. I just wish, hey, world champions, 1999. But that's not going to happen. You can't live on nostalgia tied to the greatest show on turf because it's been 25 years and time just keeps marching on. But I think it's great to connect to that. And now just some tweaks to the game day presentation. And I hope the UFL sticks around. I still think there are some things that they need to work out. I think they can better market themselves and the stuff that doesn't cost money. Better market your players. You know, you've got these coaches that are kind of PR guys. Have your players, do some interesting stuff on social media, not the not the predictable, oh, we're excited. No. Come up with some real clever, I hate to use that term influencer, I hate it, but content creators and influencers, and build some buzz because you need something to get those 20 somethings going. But welcome to Ricky Proehl. Looking forward to it.